Guys, I'm finally back home from my trips, and don't get me wrong, I had an amazing time in Japan and Florida, but I am done traveling. I've had enough. And honestly, guys, I cannot think of a better way to snap myself back to reality than looking at, alright, bro. In my last video, I briefly talked about some, concerning stuff going on in the Forsaken fandom. And while a lot of you guys shared my same sentiment of thinking that certain parts of the Forsaken community are absolutely disgusting, an alarming number of you guys all told me the same thing.
Dandy's World is worse than Forsaken.
Dandy's World has a really disgusting fandom.
Dandy's World players migrated to Forsaken. The list goes on and on, but I think you guys get the idea. Now, this wasn't anything new to me, as I have heard countless people shit on Dandy's World for being cringe and stuff. But I was genuinely curious why so many of you guys were holding up torches and pitchforks towards the Dandy's World fandom. And oh my god, I was not ready for the things I had to see while researching for this video.
Please leave a like, guys. Every time I close my eyes, it's all I can see.
Why is it that the games that are handcrafted to appeal to kids always get found by actual Gotham level villains, bro? I will just never be able to wrap my head around the fact that a fully grown adult can look at something like this and think, yep, that's hot. But before we dive any further, there are two things I need to talk about very briefly. If you don't give a shit, then skip to this timestamp, but I will be talking about a giveaway, so you might want to stick around. What am I going to be giving away, you guys might be asking? 1 zillion Robux. I know. Wait, what? They don't have a zillion? Only 10K? Oh, that's really awkward. I just told him. Okay, alright. A 10,000 Robux giveaway. Because not only did we hit 5K, but then we hit 6K. And then we hit 7,000 subscribers. Explosion effect. That is absolutely crazy, bro. Like, I am genuinely so thankful to every single one of you. Like, you guys have no idea how much you guys motivate me just by simply watching and enjoying my content. Like, it literally means the world to me. I love you guys so much. For more information on how to enter and possibly win this giveaway, be sure to look at my pinned comment in the comment section where I will give you the exact instructions on how to be entered in. This giveaway is going to run for exactly 1 week after uploading this video, so please be sure to enter quickly. The only way this giveaway will be given any kind of extension is if, like, only 3 of you guys enter it. Which, if that happens, then I'm just going to carry the giveaway over to my next video and then add a week onto that. You know, I really don't feel like doing that, so please enter the giveaway and let me give you my hard-earned money. Now that the fun stuff is out of the way, though, I need to get a little bit more serious, because even though I personally felt like it was kind of obvious in my last video, I need to make a small disclaimer that the things I'm about to discuss and show y'all is not a reflection of the entire Dandy's World fandom. It is just a small peek into a dark, grimy, rat-filled corner of the fan base. If you like Dandy's World, that is completely fine by me, bro. As long as you're not a complete weirdo, then the things I'm about to say that, you know, may not be so nice, don't apply to you. But with that out of the way, grab onto your butt cheeks, because we are about to talk about some very, very weird shit. To set the stage, I'm going to answer a very simple question. What is Dandy's World? While some of you might already know the answer to this question, prior to working on this video, I literally knew nothing about Dandy's World at all. All I knew was this little flower guy, so, you know, I'm definitely not the person you want to go to if you want to learn about any of the lore. But as far as the gameplay goes, the best comparison I can make from the small amount of research on the gameplay I did is that it looks like the love child of Rainbow Friends and Bendy and the Ink Machine. If there are any of you that play the game, let me know how accurate that is. But in the game, you play as these cute little characters called toons, and that is exactly where the problems start. Because when you make a lore-based mascot horror game with cutesy characters, you are basically begging for the most insufferable people to flock to your game, and ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what happened. I think I want to start this off a little light and talk about something that is definitely weird, but compared to the things I'm going to cover later is a little bit more tame, and that is people aggressively shipping the toons. Why does there have to be relationships involved in all of these games, bro? Like, why can these people not help themselves? Why can't this little strawberry guy just be a cute little strawberry? Why does he have to have sexual relations with a walking, talking Swiss roll? Like, I don't get it, bro. I don't understand. This shit runs deep too. When you look up Dandy's World ships, the first thing that comes up is a wiki page with a list of 235 ships. Keep in mind, guys, there are about 30 characters in the game. So how you even conjure up 235 ships is beyond me, bro. I don't know how they do it. And the people that participate in the character shipping die about this shit, bro. Like, they take it seriously. There are so many detailed charts about who these people think are acceptable ships and what ships they absolutely hate. And naturally, since people are so passionate about these ships, there is mountains upon mountains of fan art for them that range from cute little things like this to this. So yeah, I had to see it, so y'all do too. We suffer together around here. There are also countless videos with millions of views of people role-playing as these ships and just playing Dandy's World. As much as I want to hate on that, I can't, bro. They are achieving generational wealth off of role-playing on Dandy's World. Matter of fact, bro. Hold on.
Does anyone want to roleplay with me? Hello? 1, 2, 3, 4, roleplay.
And now we wait.
All things considered though, other than being insanely cringe, these shippers are more or less pretty harmless. So I can't hate on them too much, but what I can hate on, however, is the thing that I personally believe is single-handedly responsible for ruining the public opinion of Dandy's World fans. TikTok.
Stranger.
Much like Forsaken, I really don't think Dandy's World would get shit on by so many people if it wasn't for the TikToks that people make on the game. When you start to see TikToks like these about any game or TV show, such as Amazing Digital Circus, it is an indicator that it has officially reached content farm status. And oh boy, are these farmers working hard. There are countless almost hour-long Dandy's World TikTok compilations all over YouTube. And more often than not, these compilations feature blatant softcore porn in the thumbnails. This weird sexual clickbait method has been around for years, bro. Like, it's nothing new. I mean, all of us, we were all watching Strip Fortnite. Right, guys? We used to do that? No? Okay. Jokes aside though, videos like these are just so creepy because even though the videos themselves usually don't feature any of the sexual content featured in their thumbnails, it is still exposing tons of younger kids to not safe for work art, and it can really affect them negatively as they're going to keep searching for art like this until they wind up on the wrong side of the internet and actually find the art, and just like that, boom, innocence gone. All because they wanted to watch fucking Dandy's World TikToks. And I feel like now is a good time that I address something so I don't have to see it a million times in the comment section. No. The ages of these characters have never been listed officially anywhere, and people that sexualize them will most likely just tell you that they're all adults. But come on, bro. You seriously cannot look at this and say, yep, that is a 36-year-old man. Because the characters are clearly depicted to look like children, or at least look younger. It also doesn't help that there is hundreds of diaper art, including these characters, but that is something that I'll get into a little bit later. Getting back on topic, unfortunately, sexual thumbnails is not the end of the line as far as TikTok goes, as while I was researching for this video, I stumbled upon a very weird little rabbit hole, and it involves these. To my understanding, these posters have something to do with the lore of the game. Again, you know, I don't really know a lot about the lore, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But for some reason, people have taken these posters and put them in TikTok slideshows where the first slide is the normal poster, and the second slide is that same poster with dick and balls.
I beg your pardon?
As funny as I think this shit is, it is so insane to me how these things have flown under the radar. Like I said, this is on TikTok, not some shit like DeviantArt, bro. And it's also not like these were just uploaded. Like, these specific examples that I happen to stumble upon have been up for months. But I'm almost positive there are more out there that I haven't found that have been up for way longer than that. Like, I don't know what's going on with TikTok moderation and how these manage to slide through, but it is just so unnerving thinking about some kid doom scrolling on brain rot Dandy's World slop and stumbling onto stuff like this instead. And you would think that would be rock bottom, right?
Well, you would think correctly, guys, because that's actually the worst thing I found.
We have not even scratched the surface of the degeneracy that has infected this fandom, and unfortunately, I think it is time I stop avoiding it and just rip the band-aid off. The dark side of the Dandy's World fandom really checks all the boxes, bro. I mean, feet, inflation, diapers, and for some reason, farts. A lot of farts. Obviously, it goes without saying that almost any fandom with a sizable audience like Dandy's World is going to have bad actors that make weird art. But I am genuinely blown away, no pun intended, by the sheer amount of fart pictures that this game has. I'm not going to dwell on this for too long because, you know, I don't really feel like talking about fart porn that extensively. But to help you guys get an idea about what I mean, this is a literal tier list that someone made about which Dandy's World characters have the stinkiest farts. I have genuinely never seen anything like this, bro. Like, this is crazy. And yeah, I mean, if it wasn't obvious from everything I just listed off and said, there is also an alarming amount of drawings of these characters really getting to know each other. Like, there's a lot of it, bro. There's a scary amount of it. And like I said earlier, this kind of stuff is unavoidable if you have a large fan base of people. But the reason that this specific example of it is so weird and uncomfortable to me is because, like, clearly there are adults playing this game because this art is being made, but that has to be such a small percentile of the hundreds of thousands of people that play Dandy's World every day. Because I mean, just look at this, bro. Like I said in the beginning of this video, this game was handcrafted to appeal to kids and be marketed to kids, and all of the characters look like kids, and yet there is so much of this art and it just irks me so bad. And yes, I know, like, I'm not stupid, bro. I know the developers cannot control what their fans do. But an old co-owner of the game being a confirmed child predator definitely doesn't help the public image of this game at all. I know that was a low-hanging fruit, and I know it's old, and I know it's been dealt with as far as we know, but there's literally no way I could have made a video talking about the degeneracy of the Dandy's World fandom without covering that just a little bit. But yeah, that was Dandy's World. Clap it up. Clap it up. Even though a lot of you guys told me that this is so much worse than the Forsaken fandom, it's so bad, it's so bad. Honestly, personally, I really don't think that this game's fandom is worse than Forsaken. I think they're pretty on par. Again, I do think it's really, really, really weird the sheer amount of dirty fetish art there is of these child-looking characters. But there's equally as bad stuff going on in the Forsaken fandom and hundreds of thousands of other fandoms on Roblox. Like, I promise you, this is not only a Dandy's World thing, and it would be very unfair for me to say that this is only happening in this fan base, because it's not. Which really, really sucks and says a lot about the current state of Roblox. I most definitely think that the cringe factor of this fandom is a lot worse than Forsaken's is, but I also think that has a lot to do with the fact that there are probably a lot younger people playing this game, but that's just my little hypothesis. Also, guys, please be sure to enter my giveaway. Let me give you $100 worth of Robux. I'm not gonna give you $100. I'm gonna give you 10,000 Robux, okay? Where's that 10,000 Robux coming from, you might be asking? I think we all know the answer.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another Dandy's World video. Today, I'm gonna be role-playing at... Wait, what is her name? Today, I'm gonna be role-playing as Poppy. Let's get into it.
How did he get both Jokers, bro?
Bottoms up.